Okay, let's see where we are in terms of our machine learning framework. We have the data and the model. What we need is an objective function and an optimization algorithm. The loss function we used in the practical example was the average L2 norm loss divided by 2. Let's call it mean loss. In TensorFlow, its syntax would be mean loss equals tf.losses.mean squared error of the targets and outputs divided by 2. Let's consider this in more detail. TF is our library. There is a module called losses. Losses contains most of the common loss functions. Then, from losses, we call the method mean_squared_ error, which is the average L2 norm loss. Mean_squared_ error has two arguments: labels and predictions. The labels are the targets, as we discussed earlier. In supervised learning, we must assign labels, which are the correct values. Obviously, the labels are the targets. The second argument of the mean_squared_ error is the predictions following our model. These are the outputs. Finally, we'll divide by 2, so the code is the same as in the previous example. Working with TensorFlow, this is an adjustment we no longer need. I will only keep it for consistency. The not after the number 2 is added there, so we will be certain we'll obtain a float. This is a good programming habit that will save you lots of trouble. Okay, so what does this line of code do? It only defines the objective function we will use. That's it. It is time to introduce the optimization method. Let's call it optimize. Optimize equals tf.train.gradient descent optimizer of learning underscore rate equals 0.05 dot minimize of mean underscore loss. The method train contains the most common optimization algorithms. The gradient descent optimizer is the one we will use. Naturally, there are other optimization algorithms besides this one. We will talk about some of them in the next sections of the course. The learning rate is an argument of the optimizer, and this is where we set it. Finally, we must minimize the loss function that we called mean loss. Okay, we used 7 lines of code to define all the relationships in our model, the loss function, and the optimization algorithm. In the TensorFlow world, not a single operation has been executed just yet. We've built all the passages and roller coasters our data will go through, but we have not opened the gates for any of it yet. There is a special syntax when we want to do that. The proper method is tf.interactiveSession braces. I will declare a variable, ses, equal to this operation. In this way, I will only need to write ses, not the whole interactive session method when I want to execute something. The name ses is short for session. That's the conventional way to declare a session. In TensorFlow, the training happens in these so-called sessions. When we use the interactive session method, we actually say, it's time to execute. Alright, in our next lecture, we will finally make the algorithm learn. Thanks for watching.